Coach Jay here. I'm going to give you just some simple tips for youth players in putting them in successful positions to be able to hit, right? Because hitting, we all know, is what makes the money. That's what everybody puts their focus on. So I see a lot of videos out there of kids doing some very fundamental things with their stances incorrectly, which is causing all kinds of problems. I am a huge believer that your stance can put you in a successful position to hit the baseball, right? At the end of the day, you have to hit it, but if we can put ourselves in a position to be successful, that's what we want to do. First of all is going to be our grip, right? I see so many kids gripping the bat just like this, and they're wondering why they're rolling over. Well, this is not very effective. Even here, the bat is in their palms, they have no wrist action whatsoever. Grip, base of the fingers, base of the fingers, base of the fingers. A lot of people talk about knocking knuckles lined up. I don't go quite that far, but they should be pretty close. We should be nowhere near our punching knuckles. If we're anywhere near our punching knuckles, that means my front arm is bowed out. I'm gonna go around the ball, I'm gonna get disconnected. So I wanna go pretty close to knocking knuckles lined up, which, look at that front arm, it's down, which is gonna cause us to stay inside the baseball. Okay, very important. Again, our stance puts us in successful positions. Okay, next, I see so many kids with their toes out, right? They're looking really unathletic like this. Okay, the reason why this is bad, kids are standing here when they go to load. This is the move I see. They're leaning backwards. This knee is getting outside their foot. Okay, the reason why that's a problem, look at my upper body. When I lean like that, my upper body has now shifted back and backwards, right? That causes my head to shift. It's hard enough to hit when your head's still. It's really hard. And it's really hard to hit moving backwards and moving forwards. That's a long way for your body to travel. That's making the ball get here quicker. That's a whole crap show. We don't want to do that. So, a good rule of thumb, I want to turn my back toe in a little bit, at least straight, if not inside, and look what that does to my knee. My knee stays inside my feet, which means when I go to load, I can load into this back knee and I don't sway backwards. That's a huge problem. I like to call it hitting on roller skates. If we get our toes out and we start leaning, it's like hitting on roller skates. It's gonna be really hard for us to stay balanced. I also use the analogy of playing tug of war. Because tug of war, you're gonna be as strong as you possibly can. All right, if I'm gonna play tug of war and pull that rope as hard as I can, am I gonna do it like this with my knees out? No, absolutely not. I'm gonna have at least one of them in. That's where I'm balanced. I'm balanced on the inside of my feet. I'm balanced with my knees inside, okay? That is gonna put yourself in a good position to hit. Okay, just right off the bat. My center of gravity is right here in the middle. It's not leaning back. It's not leaning forward. I want to be in a good athletic position, okay? I also want to have my hands a little bit higher. Whether you start them here or start them back here, I don't think it matters. But the end goal is for us to get our hands right here in a good hitting position and a good launch position. So if my hands can start down here, but they have to end up getting up here. So again, I am such a huge proponent in making your stance put you in a successful position where we have as little movement as possible. The smaller the amount of movement, the more successful we're gonna be, right? You can absolutely hit just like this, but that's a lot of moving parts, and that takes a lot of time. That's gonna make us be in a position to be less successful. I teach a stance and a swing with as little movement as possible. The smaller the amount of movement, the easier hitting becomes, because it's pretty hard anyway. It's really hard. If you have, the more moving parts you have, the harder hitting is. So simplify, okay? So, with that stance, my knees are in, my toes are straight, and I'm in a good position. The next part of this is the most important part of hitting. If you can get to this position consistently, you can be a good hitter. It's called our launch position or our power position, okay? In our power position, all it is after I have loaded and I've strode, I get to this position where I've landed. I got equal bend in both knees. My front heel is on the ground. I'm in a good athletic position. So many times I see people with their heel off the ground and they think their front foot is down. It's not, right? I can still fall forward this way. This front foot is like a brake. This front foot is stopping me from going forward. To press the brake, I gotta have my heel on the ground, okay? So when I go forward and that heel gets on the ground, my hands are as far back as possible, okay? That's stretch, that's separation. I like to think of it like a rubber band, right? You've all shot a rubber band in class, at somebody. The farther we pull it back, the farther it's gonna go. The more stretch I have between my front foot and my hands, the harder I can hit the ball and the quicker I can swing the bat, okay? So I'm here, I've landed, I'm in a good athletic position, my hands are back, and then I can throw everything at the ball, okay? If I can consistently get to that good power position, I am going to be a successful hitter, more times than not. What the problem I see with youth hitters is they're in bad positions, so they never get their bodies to a good power position. It's all about consistently getting to that power position, that launch position, and from there, you can hit the ball. I can get to that launch position too early. I can get there when the pitcher still has the ball in his hand, and I can wait, and I can still hit the ball hard. But if I'm too late getting to that launch position, there's no shot I'm gonna hit the ball. I'm gonna have to rush, or I'm just gonna be late, okay? You can be a millisecond late and not hit the ball. You can be an hour early, and you can still hit the ball, as long as you get to that launch position on time, okay? So that's the biggest key to hitting right there, is getting yourself into a good launch position to get your body ready to hit on time.